Hello everyone, it's Kay here and I'm here today to share a Slender journal cover folio inspired by the very talented Artymaze here on YouTube, who showed in a tutorial how to make one of these Slender folios using a binder folder, which I'd taken a tutorial from Yvonne Preston, who showed us how to make our own manilla folders. I had been given a couple by the lovely Edwina Kinch, but I'm afraid I've used those on another project that it's too soon in the year to share entirely, I'm going to say. And in any event, this needed to be cut down quite significantly, so I felt I would rather use something that I'd put together myself to cut it down to the right size being 8 1/4 by 4 1/2, roughly speaking. It really is a lovely project to make, and you are able to use so many different crafty techniques to put it together. So the folder itself is made up just of 300 GSM cardstock, which I've then decoupaged napkin onto, having taken off the layer. This is a scrap of what I've got left, basically. It's just an ordinary 3-ply napkin. You all know how it goes now. You just peel off the backing, keep it because it's good for so many other things, and then utilise what you have of the napkin to decorate whatever surface it is you're going to decorate. And what I've done here is also Mod Podged, as I'm sure you'll be able to tell. It's just got that nice finish sheen on it. I've used this lovely organza ribbon as the closure. I've done a little bit of stitching, but nothing too much, to just afford a little bit more decoration. And when you open it up, this is what happens. You're then left with these two pieces inside, which I have stitched, as you can see probably, but I'd gone ahead and decorated so much inside that I wasn't able to go around the whole of the little folio, I'm calling it. The closure for the ribbon is inside. I've just tied a knot, swallow-tailed the ribbon. I'll bring it up to you, it's probably easier, like so, and then that goes through a hole in the seam, comes out here, and it is hidden just underneath this little tab here, but it works very effectively. And as that's a faux tab anyway, you know, you could use it or not, it's entirely up to you, but that's where the ribbon comes out. And when it's closed, you know, you're not any of the wiser as to what it's supposed to be, except it is a faux tab, in keeping with the tabs on the other two pages, like so. When you're inside, I've decorated and distressed all around the edges, and you've got then 4 areas of different sizes to decorate. So on this side, I put down some Artymaze ephemera paper that she's selling in a kit on her store in Etsy. I've used the Tracy Fox little tea cards, which I absolutely adore. I had this tiny little pocket die here that fits the tea cards so beautifully. I then made the envelope and distressed it with ink and coffee stain, put together this tiny little journal, and it's totally plain. It's just for putting a few notes into. I've shoddily rounded corners, it doesn't even all match size wise, and then just used a few staples to hold it together. this has all been spritzed with Lindy Gang's spritzer sprays and a little bit of gold, which is, I hope, showing up on the video, and that closes over with a little mirror board heart. And then there's another of the little pockets at the top here with another T card in it. I've already shown these. I do like to decorate them because the detail on it is really very, very delicate, and just a tiny little bit of glitter glue just lifts it and it talks then its own little beauty. It's gorgeous to work with. In the centre here, in this bit, there is a glassine bag with a little T card on the front here. Again, you're seeing Artymaze design papers. I then decorated a tiny 3.5 by 3.5 envelope. Inside there is a matching card. It is totally plain. I'm just letting the tea-dyed cardstock speak for itself. I rounded the top corners but left the bottom corners clear. Again, it's a little bit of decoupage with decoupage with the lovely napkins. I'd already spritzed and sprayed the gold and green shimmer spray onto the actual card. It's plain on the back except for the colouring that I've used. I've got the light on trying to show those textures and colours there, which I hope I'm doing successfully. This is the inside then of the envelope with the spritz and sprays throughout. The card just sits in there quite nicely. You might want to just journal on it or what have you. It would be entirely up to the recipient. It is aged, it is roughed up in places, and that just sits in the glassine bag, which also has been sprayed with the same cosmic shimmers and prettiness. I've left the top here plain. I'll let that speak for itself. And then in the next panel is an inspiration from the very talented Yvonne Preston White, who showed how to make these lovely pockets on her channel, and you can just slip a little something in there. There's nothing in there at the moment. It's just copier paper. Again, I've decoupaged the napkin onto the front. This flap then folds over and it's all held in place, having decorated it with a doily, a little bit of fussy cut rose work and a heart die. That just slips over there like so and keeps that pocket closed, which then fits into the thumb pull area here of the large pocket that is filled quite nicely with more. Oh, I've pushed it back in instead of pulling it out, with more of the ephemera from Artymaze's ephemera pack, which I purchased, as I said already, on Etsy. And it's just receipts and then a tax house duty card, income tax, house duty and land tax, with all the original markings. All of this readily available in Andrea's store. I've backed it on plain craft coloured cardstock just to reinforce it, inked a little bit around the edges, and that is ample space then for journaling or indeed for attaching bits and pieces to, if you so desired, to keep it interesting. And all else failing, it makes a lovely pocket filler for that really deep pocket, which is the length of the page. And that again was suggested by Artymaze, and it is a DL sized envelope that's been cut down The DSP then has been put over the top of it, and then it's just been attached to the page within the folio, and I've just then kept the seams clear. I've just inked them up a little bit just so that there is nothing stark on the page that is not looking aged and distressed. Then I have a glassine envelope here, no decoration to it whatsoever, but inside the pocket again is some of the ephemera from Artymaze's ephemera pack, which is under £3 to buy. I don't remember the exact price of it, but backed on card, which you don't have to do. I just do it because I like things to feel substantial in their hand. That just fits in there like so, and if it wants to curl and do its own thing, I'm quite happy with that. It is just a see-through pocket where you can see the ephemera through it, and then again, as I say, more advertising, more income tax and duty, house duty tax there, and I've tried to keep it as authentic as I can. I don't know if the napkin choice was right. It felt right and in keeping with all the other things that I wanted to use in this little project, so I hope you've enjoyed seeing it. And then when it comes to closing, you fold in your two side flaps like so. If you've got flaps from envelopes and that kind of thing, then all you need to do is just tuck them in quite nicely. That then folds together to give you the overall document size, I'm going to say, folder. This then wraps one way and then the other, and it really is a gorgeous organza styled ribbon, which I then just fold, bow, and that acts then as the closure for the whole of the folio. I open it up as much as I can just so that the ribbon isn't lost in translation, but that is such a juicy bow there. It just kind of all wrinkles and crinkles, and it is a crinkle cut ribbon. It's not meant to be smooth and tidy in any respect. If I bring it up, you'll see it's one of those lovely aged kind of I don't know that it is organza or seam binding styled material, but it works for this project really nicely, and hopefully it blends in well with that gorgeous rose colour. I've also done a little bit of stamping on it just to keep the interest there, and that is how it looks on the back, just totally plain. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this today. It is an easy project to put together, time allowing, and it does lend itself to you using your imagination and putting into it whatever you would like. So thank you very much for sharing this time with me today. I'll say goodbye for now, and until next time, happy crafting everyone, and stay well. Bye bye for now.